What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Genshin Impact video. And today we have a, kind of a shock. I wasn't expecting this coming because they just double buffed ZHONGLI. So before, they basically, ZHONGLI wasn't the best character in the game. His E was really, really bad, but he made up for it because of his Q, and his Q was really good, of course. It still is good, but they just basically made him, like, one of the best characters in the game, I think. I think he's easily, like, a top 3 support now. He's very ridiculous. He might be #1, like, best support in the game. Who knows? But so we're gonna go over their, regarding a further adjustment. So they're basically doubling down on the buffs on ZHONGLI. So we're gonna go over this and we're gonna see what they changed. All right, dear travelers, we sincerely apologize for keeping you all waiting. Since we announced the plan for adjustments to ZHONGLI, testers have provided the developers with a great deal of detailed feedback based on their actual in-game experience. Meanwhile, we have also received many valuable suggestions from travelers across various social media channels, aka YouTubers, basically complaining about how ZHONGLI is terrible. So basically, from the feedback they got, they concluded that ZHONGLI is a weak support character, and especially in yes, that is true. He's really bad in co-op. Like, I don't recommend bringing him in co-op at all. So they're probably going to buff that, hopefully. And in parties with Geo, support ZHONGLI provided is less pronounced than other available Geo characters, and he was basically a low strategic value, especially considering that he's a 5-star character. As I said, yes, this is probably why they're buffing him to shit. It's because he is a 5-star limited banner character, and people wanted to pull for him. And, if he is underwhelming in any way, shape, or form, then people are going to complain, and they say it here, especially considering that he's a 5-star character. Like, yes, it makes sense for people to complain. He is a 5-star character, the rarest characters in the game, right? So if you pull a 5-star character, like, holy shit, I got ZHONGLI, and then you figure out he's dog shit, you're going to be like, well, fuck me. He's a 5-star character, and it's just going to be annoying. Alright. Single player mode. ZHONGLI is not very compatible in parties with non-Geo. So basically, this is the problem with ZHONGLI, is he was just bad everywhere. In parties with Geo, the support he provided was less pronounced than other available Geo characters. So even when he was with Geo, he wasn't the best Geo character. And in single player, which is basically when you're just playing the game in general, he's not compatible with parties without Geo. So he's even worse without Geo. So he was basically just terrible all around. Now, his Q is really good. The Planet Befall. And it petrifies them, and it's basically like giving them a freeze effect. And, it's still really good. Its scaling on its attack percentage is ridiculous. But, I mean, other than that, his E was kind of mid. And, that's what made him, like, a really bad support unit, kind of. So, here we go. So, further adjustments. Whoa, what is this? The adjustments will be implemented in an update to the version 1.3 test server on December 29th. Ooh, okay. When a character is protected by the Jade Shield, opponents within a set radius have elemental resistance and physical resistance to decrease by 20%. What? And there's having the debuff right there. That tells you that they have that debuff, the physical debuff. Are you serious? Elemental resistance and physical resistance? 20%? How long does it last for? Okay, thank God. Effect cannot be stacked. Thank God. that'd be ridiculous. You'd one-shot everything. Okay. Additional adjustment demonstration. Jade Shield resists decrease area display. Okay, so this is... Okay, so you can see the debuff happening on the character there. Damage decrease comparison. Shade Shield res decrease damage comparison. Holy shit. Is that Oz? Oz is doing 4.93 thousand? Oh my god. What are they... Is he like the best character now? ZHONGLI's ridiculous. And this is... What's crazy is that, ZHONGLI's getting all these buffs, right? But then Geo is still getting a buff. Geo is still getting a buff on top of this. Oh my god, dude. More detailed explanation is provided below. Oh, this is co-op. Oh my god, they made him good in co-op. Wow. Okay, so here's the old original effect. Is he created a shield. This is when you hold down his E. He created a shield of Jade, and it absorbs scaled on his max HP and 250% geo damage absorption, which is okay, but you know, not everyone does geo damage. So this was like, it's whatever, it's an extra shield, right? Deals AoE geo damage, and if there are nearby targets with the geo element, it will drain a large amount of geo element from a maximum of 2 such targets. So basically, does it give him energy recharge? I don't know what this exactly does. I think this just gives him energy. Now, effect after original adjustment. Effect after further. Okay, what? Okay, so they're just buffing his E to shit. So they're leaving his Q alone, and his E is just getting extremely buffed. So this was their original like buff to ZHONGLI, and this is the second buff that they just did. So the original buff they did was if the maximum number of stone steals has not been yet reached, it will create a stone steal. Wow. Okay. This buff was already ridiculous. And creates a shield of Jade, and it damage absorption scales on ZHONGLI's max HP, okay. It has 150% physical damage and elemental damage absorption. Okay, so they did decrease the shield power level, but they made it. It's like if they literally would have left it 250% and it scales off his max HP and it was physical and elemental, he'd be the best character. Like, not even close. You would never die. I mean, you still don't die with ZHONGLI in general. It's hard to die with him. But like this, you would never die if it was 250%. So thank God they nerfed that. But physical and elemental damage is 10 million times better than just geo damage. So this is like a huge buff in general. This is already what made him ridiculous. Okay, so this is what the originally buff did. They just made his shield better, and they added an extra stone steal if their maximum number was not reached. And now they're taking him even further. Okay, what's new? Okay, here it is. Right here. When a character is protected by the Jade Shield, opponents within a set radius have all elemental resistance and physical resistance decreased by 20%. So that's what they're showing here. Is that he has a shield on right now, and then as they get close into him, to ZHONGLI with the shield, you can see he doesn't have it, and then as soon as he steps over that line, he gets that debuff. So the radius is about like 20, 30 feet. 20 feet, I think. 10 feet. So that's not that bad, considering in Spiral Abyss, you're not going to be really far away from your enemies until like the last adds, and you're probably going to always be up in their face. So that's really good. And still does AoE geo damage, and it still drains the geo element from them. Okay, I mean, this is even better. Like, obviously, the shield buff was amazing. This was, like, just an extra bonus. Basically, the shield buff was, like, what made the E kind of bad. So this was already amazing, and then they made it to where elemental resistance and physical resistance decreased by 20%. I can imagine if you pair ZHONGLI with Venti, you pair him with Venti, and Venti shoots out his Q, which obviously he is a Nemo character, so you know he's gonna be having elemental damage stack on stack on stack, and on top of that, if you have ZHONGLI with his E out, where is it? Yeah, if you have ZHONGLI with his shield on and he has the elemental resistance and physical resistance decrease, they're going to be taking even more damage. So I think these two are going to be a really nice combo, ZHONGLI and Venti, when ZHONGLI's buff goes through. Wow, that's crazy. So I have pulled up here the other Geo characters, and as I went through most of these characters, I think the only character that ZHONGLI was actually better in as Geo was probably the Traveler and Ningguang and Noelle. He was probably the best. Albedo, I think, is still better, but after the buff, I don't know who is better. I think Albedo is still really good, but Albedo plus ZHONGLI is probably one of the best combos in the game. But I do think pre-buff, he was probably like, it was between him and Noelle, especially if Noelle's maxed out. because Noelle maxed out with her defense is ridiculous. Ningguang is still really, really good. So she was compatible, and then obviously Geo Traveler isn't, nothing special, but he is decent. His Q is pretty good with the, where is it? Doesn't he give an attack buff on his Q? Doesn't he give a? Okay, he has a crit rate buff. Allies within the radius of Wake of Earth have their crit rate increased by 10% and increased resistance against interruption. That's pretty good. Obviously he is a free character and he's a free Constellation 6. So, I mean, it makes sense to why he wouldn't be, top tier. Oh, this is good. Constellation 4 regenerates 5 energy for every enemy hit. Cost is 60. This is Wake of Earth? Yeah, it is. His Wake of Earth. Wow. So he can get half of his ult back, basically, if he hits a lot of enemies. That's pretty good. I mean, Traveler Geo, I think, is underrated. He's pretty decent. Ningguang, of course. Ningguang, everyone knows Ningguang is really, really good. Noelle, C tier, right? Okay. Everyone knows about Ningguang and how she, she could block projectiles. And she basically has like a Reinhardt shield from Overwatch, which is really helpful. And then her Star Shatter was also really, really, really good. I think that's it. So yeah, I mean, basically they just buffed the hell out of ZHONGLI. Him and Albedo are going to be a very, very dangerous combo. So I can't wait to see what happens there. They're just going to be spamming ults left and right. Albedo's going to be giving his buff. And then ZHONGLI is going to be dropping an actual tactical nuke bomb on top of them with his Q. And then his E has obviously been super buffed. So they're going to be taking even more damage. So this is going to be a very scary combo. I'm glad they buffed ZHONGLI again. I don't think he really needed the physical resist decrease and the elemental resist decrease. I think that's a little that's a little ridiculous, but he is a 5-star character. So I'm glad they did buff him, because now I think all the ZHONGLI people will be happy, considering he's going to be getting this massive buff on top of just Geo getting a buff in general. Is going to be really, really helpful. So that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Peace out.